All right, folks, just like we have all tournament long, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions for the student athletes. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. And with that being said, we'll start with Coach Parkinson.
Yeah, obviously we're thrilled to be able to make history, as a program. Couldn't be prouder of our kids in the most important game of the year. They were locked in, and I think I said it out there, but we built our program on defense, and to hold them to 0 points in the fourth quarter, I think is a great way to finish it out and have a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. I also want to say that it's been quite a journey from where we are to where we are now, and there are a lot of former players that have helped build this program that weren't fortunate enough to be able to cut down the nets like we did today, that helped position us to where we are. And I want to make sure that we say we're very grateful for what they've done.
All right, questions for the student athletes. Again, if you have a question, just raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you.
Macee, how were you able to kind of continually make the right play? I know early on they weren't sending doubles at you, and then as the game progressed, they were. It seemed like you were able to kick out to Holly, especially for three. How were you able to continue to make the right play after play?
I say it just starts in practice. So we work on either they doubling, which most teams usually double me. So if they double me, I can kick it out to a shooter, especially Holly. They left her wide open most of the game. So.
And again, how were you able to put it right?
I mean, like you said, she's a big force inside. They have to put a lot of attention on her. So when they go and double or whatever they decide to do, it leaves us open on the perimeter. And I just happen to be getting the ball today.
Holly, you were there. You experienced the heartbreak in 2017. What drove you and fueled you this tournament? Obviously, two really good games.
It's been a journey since then. This team has changed and grown so much since 2017. But for me, I always have that in the back of my mind, just that feeling of we almost had it. And so this whole season was predicated on just taking it one day at a time and then preparing for a moment like today.
Additional questions for the student athletes?
Holly, again, what does it mean for you as a senior to be in this moment? The confetti flying down, you get the championship trophy. What's going through your mind at that moment? Or the MVP trophy, sorry.
It was an unreal experience. Honestly, I looked at somebody, I was like, this doesn't even feel real right now. But just being a senior, being here in Indianapolis, being able to have our students, our families, all that, around us while we do something special, it's an unreal feeling that I really can't even put into words.
You guys were struggling to score in the fourth quarter, but really, like Coach Parkinson was mentioning, just you guys hung your head on defense in that fourth quarter. Macee, for you, how much does it help when you have a floor general like Hoopingarner just being that calming presence, being the lone senior on this team and just guiding the team throughout the closing minutes?
I'll say just for Holly, her leadership is insane, like out of this world. She always tells us, even in practice, she just tells us where to go and stuff like that. Or if we're down on ourselves, she's always the one who always pick us up, or vice versa.
Additional questions for the student athletes? All right, ladies, go celebrate.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Hey, we'll still meet at some point.
Okay, I'll try to give a round.
At some point.
Yeah.
All right, questions for Coach Parkinson? We'll start with you, Jared.
Coach, I know you've admitted the struggles that you had there, toward the end of the regular season, including the loss to Green Bay at home. Did you guys go back to the drawing board, and how much did you look at the first game against Green Bay, when you game planned for today?
Well, a couple things. One, we weren't shooting the ball great down the stretch, and for us to have that week, off was huge to kind of just get a lot of shots in the gym, get our confidence back. Also, we played Green Bay so late in the season. We didn't quite play that game the same way we did the first time. I subbed very liberally in that game, knowing there was a good chance we were going to play them again. And, tonight I thought our kids came out extremely focused. We talked about, when you play Green Bay, they're such a good defensive team. You got to understand it may be a low-scoring game. And our kids, even though we were turning it over a little bit and kind of had some mishaps in the fourth, they just sprinted back on defense and played really, really hard. Maybe one of the best defensive quarters I've ever seen.
How valuable was Holly's effort defensively? I mean, she's picking up full court, she's helping in the post, she's running back out to the perimeter. I mean, where does she get the stamina to do that, and how kind of freeing is that when you have a player like that defensively?
Yeah, defensively tonight, one of our main game plan was to pick them up full court. They played 2 kids 40 minutes the last game. And then when we lost to them last time, about the last 2 minutes of the game, we pressed them, and we saw that was effective. And so we wanted to just wear them out, take their legs out of the game. Holly did that. Destiny did that. But I'm really proud of Holly. She's always been a leader. But tonight, in the biggest game of her career, she stepped up on defense and on offense. And, I mean, seeing her fly around out there was a really proud moment for me because, she's grown in her 4 years. And when she first got here, defense was not her thing. And when she leaves here, she heated that thing up today and was flying all over the court.
So Austin, after the third quarter in the huddle, after you'd been outscored 18-11, what did you say to your players so that they didn't panic, so that you guys could come out and then hold Green Bay scoreless?
Yeah, it's probably good I didn't know that stat. Bottom line is we talked about this before the game, and the word we used was tunnel vision. We were fortunate enough before the game, the governor came in and wished us luck, and we knew there's an opportunity to play for a tournament championship today. We said, have tunnel vision, just worry about what's in front of you, not any of the hoopla, and those things will take care of themselves. And when we got in that third quarter, we just came over and said, listen, bottom line is just stick to our game plan, stick to getting stops. You do that, we'll take care of business. And, our kids obviously did that in the fourth quarter.
Coach, can you just expound on that fourth quarter defensive performance again? I mean, to hold them scoreless, is the team getting confidence after every miss? Is that something you ever would have dreamed of, to hold a team like Green Bay scoreless in the fourth quarter?
Well, I think holding anybody scoreless is, pretty nutty. Doesn't matter if it's middle school ball. That's a pretty, crazy deal. But I will say, the thing, besides just playing hard, the kids really stuck to the game plan tonight. Frankie Wirtz is an incredible player. Obviously, she willed them to victory against Northern Kentucky. And at our place, she gave us 17 points. And tonight, Rachel really did a great job defensively on her, but we wanted to take her and Oski out of the game. And I think she had 0 at halftime, maybe 3 for the game. And we just felt like, listen, if we're going to lose, we're going to lose with some of their other players hitting shots. And obviously, that worked out for us tonight.
Coach, you've been able to have a lot of success, especially these last few years. But what is different about this team? Obviously, a championship-level team has something different.
Well, I think 2 things. One, the chemistry and connectedness of the group. They're high-character kids. Somebody asked me yesterday, what kind of drama do you have off the court? 0. Absolutely none. And that starts with, Holly. There's no time for it. I think one of you asked about her conditioning to play that, hard. I found out after one of the practices this week, her and Rachel, and she made Macee come up and run sprints with them after practice. So that's the first thing. And then the other part about it is the mentally tough group. When we had some adversity this year, I think one of my favorite stats all year is we never lost a game by double figures. And that's pretty incredible. We played a really tough non-conference schedule, but the most we lost by was 9 points. Everything else was 2, 3, 2. And, when our kids faced adversity, they buckled down and rallied together, which, again, in adverse situations, allows you to come through.
Anything more for Coach? All right, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you. That was fun. Yeah, we just kept playing and stuff, and then the fourth quarter turned over. I'm like, thank goodness our defense sucked with it.
We're locked in.